Godzilla X Kong the New Empire or Godzilla Kong the New Empire, because actually the X is silent, just like Hunter x Hunter. You don't say the X in between. For those that are going into watching this film this weekend or the next couple of weeks, you know what you're going into if you've been on the ride for the subsequent or the previous films. You know what Legendary has. What you want is big action, not really to follow the human storyline, because what we expect to see is Titans fighting Titans. And that's what you get in this film. Is it as good as the others? We're going to talk about it. Two ancient titans, Godzilla and Kong, clash in an epic battle as humans unravel their intertwined origins and connection to Skull Island's mysteries. So in this review, we're going to talk about the actual titans, their size, how they look, CGI, VFX. We're going to talk about the story that is in conjunction with the Titan story and the human story, and whether that works. We're going to talk about the score. And we're going to talk about the actors, and of course we're going to talk about the fighting. When it comes to the VFX, the special effects, I thought this looked, for the most part, excellent. There were times you could totally tell that, you know, what you're looking at isn't real, but because it's big monsters and we're now in like a new world, the Hollow Earth, there's so many various types of creature creations that we get in this that are much larger than life, or larger than skyscrapers even, that you forgive them, or that your mind can disassociate what would look real and what doesn't, because you don't actually know, because you don't have a frame of reference for what these characters would actually look like. For all you know, this is what they look like. So they get away with a lot of bits where maybe that bit would be more CGI than the rest. And then we have the color palette. They've really gone for some vibrant colors in the Hollow Earth with our characters. If you've seen the trailer, you'll see that Godzilla himself, you know, he has his blue spine thingy, and you've also seen that will change over it. You'll see that Kong gets an upgrade. You'll see that his weapon is still around, and the color and the hair. What I liked about the design of Kong this time around is he seems to have aged. He's got some wisdom. He's got a nice like little beard that has a few little gray hairs in it. There seems to be this intelligence and loneliness about the character that they've created within the persona of the creation that we get. You get the nuances when he's huffing and he's sad and he's sitting. You get all that he's going through. And with Godzilla's more hard to read. More likely Godzilla is the SMASHY type, and I'm going to protect you because that's what I do. I'm protecting Earth, even if I'm, you know, killing millions along the way, doing it in collateral damage. Then that's what you get. So the creature creations here were fantastic, and the imagination used for the different kind of creatures that you see in Hollow Earth particularly, I thought were magnificent and really fun. Reminded me of things like 20,000 Leagues, you know, that sort of imagination, a bit of Avatar in there, all of that. And when we get into the story of this, the two stories, this could have easily just been Kong's movie. It was really interesting seeing what he's going through, the last of his kind, and he's always been searching for more. And when he comes into more, you see how that shapes who he is, not just his kind but humans, just being who he is, a protector. Seems to be natural within him. So that journey that we've gone in from Skull Island to where he is now in Hollow Earth, I like that journey, and there's some references that I think they've done really well at kind of connecting that world together, especially when we get to the human side. They connect that with Kong, and so you feel like they're somewhat connected without having to go back and watch all of these movies all at once and, you know, trying to get a frame of reference. There's a nice little kind of sort of catch up, what Kong is doing, what Godzilla is doing at the beginning of the movie, but it's really quick. There's not like a massive monologue, just quick moments of, okay, this is what they're doing now. When it comes to Godzilla's storyline, his storyline is the weakest, I think. He's really just the protector of Earth, and whenever he senses something, then he's going to go and have to prepare for the big battle that he knows is coming, and that's his story really in this. There are some funny moments with Godzilla that I didn't think were meant to be funny, just I found them humorous, like for example what he's chosen to be his home, where he sleeps, that sort of thing. I thought was humorous and fun to watch. Now, seeing the collateral damage is really that the humans in this storyline, I think it kind of worked better than most times when with the human storyline. There is a one bit that connects the Titans to the humans with one particular character, no spoilers, and then the rest of the time the humans are really kind of just watching and trying to help our protectors fight against other Titans that may harm Earth or destroy Earth even. And so really they're just watchers. They continue to be watchers and they help where they can. I like the sense of discovery and mystery and journey that we get with a team that follows Kong and trying to help him. And so when we go to the Hollow Earth, we are like a fly on the wall of the adventure that's, you know, journey to the center of the earth, all of those. That's exactly what you get here, and it's just complete escapism. When it comes to the score, I thought the score was brilliant. Really nice to see that they've taken a bit of almost cyberpunk 80s vibe with like the techno feel, that sort of funk. You'll know what I mean. There's a mixture, a little bit reminded me of like sort of Guardians, even like a bit of a spaceship sort of flying about with a happy-go-lucky Han Solo sort of character that's a bit wacky and out of there, played by Dan Stevens, who I thought was excellent in this. Really a lot of fun. In fact, the human side to the actors, I thought they were fun. We have Brian Tyree Henry, who's Bernie Haynes, and we've seen him before in this movie series, and I liked him in it, so I thought it was a good inclusion. You got Kaylee Cottle. She was the last survivor from Skull Island, and now she is connected to this world somewhat. And we have Rebecca Hall, who plays Elaine Andrews, who we've also seen. Elaine Andrews and Bernie Hayes were one of the teams that, you know, helped save Earth. But really, it was the Titans. I think in terms of escapism, this is probably going to sit up there for most people in the last number of Godzilla and Kong films as the better one, because it really embraces what it is. Just pure monster mayhem throughout the film. It doesn't actually let up much. There's a couple of moments of downtime, doing a bit of expositioning, background story for our humans, and maybe some background character development for our Titans even, but for the most part is smashy. But the creativeness in the smashy with the Titans is brilliant. I would even say that there's a moment that I was never expecting to see between Godzilla and Kong and a couple of others, and I would equate it to an anime scene. And when you see it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was just, how many different ways can you make Godzilla move? And you would think he's like a lizard, he can run and jump and whip his tail and use his flame breath. But other than that, there was a lot more movement from our characters than I was expecting. Even the bad guys, without going into spoilers, were fighting in ways that I thought were really creative. So seeing that on screen. One of the negatives I had in this was, after talking with my son about the film, is that size was an issue. You forget how big the Titans are when they're in the Hollow Earth. You forget that they're as the size of skyscrapers. It's only when you see them on Earth, where humans look like little ants, do you get the scale of things. And I think we could have had more scenes where they could have showcased how big these characters are, because at some points you can just forget and think that they're the size of gorillas or elephants. You know, those are massive, but in terms of scale, when you think of skyscrapers, that's kind of how big they are. And that wasn't showed as much as I would have liked. But when it comes to fun, I think this was, for me, the best one that we've had. Whether in terms of quality story, I would say Godzilla Minus One is probably up there for most people. But for me, this, in terms of big blockbuster action that you want to see at the cinema with a full crowd of people enjoying it, embracing the zeitgeist of, you know, just complete escapism, a film that knows what it is. It doesn't try to explain things. You're going to see things on screen. If you start questioning them, trying to apply logic, then you're not the person that's for this film. People go into this just experiencing the joy of the mayhem and the good guys triumphing over the bad guys. And in this case, it's Titans, it's monsters, and Godzilla and Kong fighting against insurmountable odds, which is what you want. And seeing them come up with new moves, you know, it's not even their ultimate form yet.
This isn't even my final form.
That is what you expect. If you're going into this film expecting highbrow dialogue and deep story. That's not what you're going to get in this. This is just pure escapism. So in terms of entertainment and joy and fun, I'll probably give it 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
In terms of deep story and thinking wise, I'd probably give it a 3.
You got one.
So I'll go around the middle and go 3.75 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Which one is your favorite once you've seen it? I like the series, but I was a little bit let down with that. But for the most part, there was the King of Monsters that was my favorite until this one. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.